In the world of investing, and more specifically value investing, it is very important to be able to make some reasonable assumptions as to the financial performance of a particular company. For this reason, what a lot of investors do is they perform their own research, and then after the fact, they consult other investors' analyst estimates for stocks. These estimates range from revenue estimates, EBITDA estimates, EPS estimates, as well as many others. In this video, I'm gonna share with you how it is that right from your Excel or Google Sheet spreadsheet, you can get a range of a whole bunch of analyst estimates that you can take into consideration when you're performing your own stock analysis. Okay, so let's talk about analyst estimates for stocks. So analyst estimates for stocks are basically usually recommendations of whether or not you should buy, sell, or hold a particular stock. And this is based on research that stock analysts provide to investors. This research is usually done by analysts who work at banks or financial institutions, and their job is basically to analyze the state of affairs for different companies, do research, and provide a recommendation to their clients. So locally, there's many different ways in which you can get analyst estimates for stocks. So in this case, I'm just showing you the one from MarketWatch, but I want to show you how you can get them from different sites. And then I also want to show you an actual report of a particular set of analysts, so that way you can see how that is performed and how that eventually leads to the recommendations that are simplifications, which you see on websites like MarketWatch. So if you go to a site like MarketWatch, you can just simply look for a particular company that you're interested in investing. So in this case, we just have Amazon as an example. And then right here, you'll see a tab for analyst estimates. And then right here, this is where you can see a whole bunch of interesting information. So you see a different number of ratings for this particular stock. So this would be basically like the number of analysts that analyze this stock. So in this case, you see 54. Then you also see an average target price. So this is the target price that those analysts believe that the stock will hit. So 136.50. Right now, the stock is at 125.08. So it seems like a potentially good opportunity. And then the cool thing is that oftentimes you see yearly numbers as well. So you can kind of see estimations of revenue, EPS, and different metrics like that. So here's just a whole bunch of other information. This is how many analysts are rating Amazon a buy, overweight, hold, underweight, sell. And you can see how there's a whole bunch of other information as well. So here you can see the EPS estimate trends, which are very important numbers that you can incorporate into your valuations. So you can see a whole bunch of information that you can access here, as well as some graphs. And the same thing applies to Yahoo Finance, although they present the information, obviously, as you can imagine, in a slightly different way. So here you see the number of analysts, the average estimate, in this case for the EPS, then they have estimates for revenue, then they have different comparisons of like their history in terms of whether or not they achieve the goals that the analyst set for the company. And then they also have the rating: strong buy, hold, underperform, sell. The thing that you do need to know is that this analyst estimates, you may think that this is the greatest thing that was ever created. If I follow the analyst, my stock portfolio is going to crush it. But there's been obviously many different studies that this is far from the case. In fact, many investors that just rely on analyst recommendations underperform in the market. So this is why it's very important to do your own research. And then, of course, after the fact, you can look to see what other investors are saying about a particular stock to kind of sanity check your own assumptions. That's the way that I recommend that you go about accessing analyst estimates for stocks. And then you have other websites like Seeking Alpha, which is also very good. Here you can see they have their ratings as well. And some of this information is obviously only accessible if you have a paid account for Seeking Alpha. But what I like about it is the fact that there's many different articles that you can access here that talk about different things. So for example, Amazon AWS is a powerhouse. Amazon Prime mobile service is a bad idea. So you can click here, see the article, and see what different investors and analysts are thinking about Amazon at this particular moment in time. So TipRanks is another very popular platform that you can access, and it provides you with a whole bunch of really valuable information in terms of like sentiment around a particular stock, analyst estimates, like buy and sell ratings and whatnot. And the cool thing about about tip ranks is that you can actually see the analysts that have provided these recommendations, and you can see their track record. So it brings a lot more transparency to getting analyst estimates for stocks. The last thing that I want to share with you in terms of analyst estimates for stocks and the research is an actual report, an example of it. So here is an example report by an investment firm. So here you see the name of the company, you see some of the key metrics to consider, and then they also have rating based on different criteria. So this is Morningstar, this is Citibank, and in this case they're saying buy. And the cool thing here is that you can see they talk about bull points, bear points. So these are good things for going for the company, these are bad things going for the company. They present their financial analysis in terms of past performance, segmented revenues, quarterly updates and whatnot. And then this is a cool way to visualize like how they're analyzing the stock and how they think of it. And then at the end they provide a recommendation as to whether or not you should buy, sell, or hold this particular stock. So this is typically how this research is performed. And then obviously the other sites that you see are aggregating the analysis from many different analysts and investors and putting it into these graphs and tables that you can see here for you to visualize. That's generally how the process works. Okay, so now what I want to share with you is how it is that you can get analyst estimates for stocks right on your Excel and Google Sheet spreadsheet. The process works exactly the same. So if you analyze many different companies in order to find good investment opportunities, as you can imagine, going back to the websites that I just shared with you and copy pasting the numbers on your spreadsheet so that way you can compare with your valuations and whatnot, it's a very time consuming process. So for this reason, I recommend that you use Y-Sheets, which is an add-on that works on Google Sheets and Excel. We have many tutorials on how Y-Sheets works, but basically it allows you to get stock financials, key metrics, growth metrics, price data, dividend data, analyst estimates, and a whole bunch of other different data right on your spreadsheet. So in this case, we're gonna use it to get the analyst estimates for Amazon. The way that you do that is very simple. You use the custom functions built in with Y-Sheet. So in this case, the function to use is the WISE function. We're going to select the symbol, which in this case, we're analyzing Amazon. And then we're going to enter the different parameters. So here's the different parameters that we're going to get, which are the analyst estimates. So these are the estimated revenues, the estimated EBITDA, EBIT, net income, selling and administrative expenses, EPS, etc. So once you select that, then all you need to do is enter the particular year you're looking to get data for. So in this case, we're projecting 1 year forward to 2023. And as you can see, just like that, you're going to be able to get the analyst estimates for Amazon. So I'm just going to expand this. Here's all the different numbers. And now you may be wondering, where are these analyst estimates being sourced from? Just like I showed you before of the report of that particular investment firm, we take the reports of some of the most prominent banks in the world. So these are sources like JP Morgan, Citibank, etc. We take the reports, we aggregate the data, and then we provide you with the information that you see right here. So we have the estimated revenues, and we divide it into the low, the high, and the average across the different analysts that we use. We do the same for the EBITDA, for the EBIT, the net income, and all the different categories that you see right here. So in this way, you can just change the company ticker, or you can just keep adding more companies. But let's say now I want to analyze Apple. I simply change the ticker. Now the data updates, and I can compare this information with my own projections and my own valuation just as a sanity check. The one thing to keep in mind is that right now we have limited data coverage for this data. So right now we only have 2023, but then we're going to have 2024, 2025, and a lot more years moving forward. This also applies for historical data. So if you wanted to compare our analyst estimates with the results of, like, let's say 2021, for example, you could get that value as well. So in this case, all you need to do is change the year. And as you can see, the data will update right away, and then you will be able to compare this analyst estimates with the actual results of the company. So if I wanted to get the actual results of the company, we could in this case just say WISE symbol revenue and then 2021. And as you can see, now we can compare the estimated revenue average from the analyst, the high and the low, with the actual financial result that the company had in 2021. Now you know everything that you do need to know about analyst estimates for stocks, and also how it is that you can get them right on your Excel and Google Sheets spreadsheet. So be sure to use this information so that you can make great investment decisions for yourself and for those people that you most care about. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification zone so that way you get notified every time we release a new video like this that's gonna allow you to take your investing game to the next level. I'll see you in the next one.